Hi, I'm Bhavna Dalal. I'm an executive coach and a lifelong student of leadership. On behalf of Big Scope, we are here today with Vivek Khanna.
Hello.
He is the managing director for First Advantage in India. And thank you so much, Vivek, for doing this.
Pleasure
and
is all mine,
talking
Bhavna.
to us.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, so let's talk about First Advantage. What exactly does First Advantage do?
Okay. First Advantage is a company which helps in background screening,
Okay.
and we help our clients hire the best talent
Okay.
and the most secure talent that they can build with. We are a company which is based out of Atlanta. We are headquartered in Atlanta. We have 25 offices in 13 countries, and now basically we are the leaders in this industry in terms of our reach and in terms of our spread and in terms of our products that we offer. In India, we are again leaders out here, and we are available in every city to do the screening and the searches. We have 4 offices in India, and growing day by day.
The 3 things that you really help employers with, what would those 3 things be?
Okay, and the first one that we help our clients with is to have the whole thing about human capital risk,
Okay.
how we manage the risk in vis-a-vis the human capital and the people that they hire. Second area that we help the clients is to look at the whole employee life cycle, and in terms of talent acquisition and for the full life cycle to understand what we can do differently, how they can make their talent acquisition strategies far better than what they're having today. Third thing that we work with the clients is to look at what are the trends, how and what they can look at things in a predictive way.
Okay.
So predictive analytics, predictive reasoning, predictive charts, which will help our clients, plan their strategies for the years to come.
So when you say risks, what are some of the typical risks that they face?
The first thing is authentication. So if I say I am so and so, am I so and so? If I say that I have that education, do I really have that education?
Oh, I see.
If I say I have been working in that area with that particular skill, is it true? When I say that yes, I have a very clean criminal record, is it true? When I say that I am the best person in this industry, is it true? So a lot of things which are qualifying, we put a quantitative stuff to it and objectively define
Okay.
for our clients what they need and whether it's fitting into their risk strategy or not.
So what is the scope of this? Is this just limited to India? Is it globally? Is it anywhere?
Anywhere in the world. So all 220 countries,
Oh, I see.
we will do a screening over there.
Okay.
So a person could be having an education from those countries, could have been employed in those countries, could have lived in those countries. It's all right.
What if they don't claim any of that but have been in those countries? Can you still?
Yes. So it's part of the whole approach, depending on the mandate that we have on the risk. How much of risk? Risk is like a balance, like you balance the risk vis-a-vis the cost, and how much of in-depth information you like to go for. There is a lot of things will be about what about the integrity of the data, and also about an applicant authorizing that information to be used.
I see. So what are some of the common areas where you see there's a lot of inauthentic information that comes across?
Oh, that's interesting. Employment is one area where we find people do tend to say few things which are not correct.
Okay.
People try to hide the gap years, thinking that nobody will find it out. But companies employ people like us to find that out. When people say that I have worked in a certain company and they have not actually worked there, they have generated some of those reports and everything. We reach out and do those screening and searches
Okay.
to authenticate.
Okay. So if I were to, think from a person's perspective who has taken a gap but is still very capable, and but there's that perception that because of that reason they are not able to. What would you say to that?
When anybody takes a gap, there's no need to be afraid or being not upfront about it. Let's talk about it, what you've done in that time, because I'm sure the person was not sitting at home. He was actually doing something. Just write that thing in the resume, because anything that you do sometimes give you a lateral and a horizontal approach towards life, and you become a better person.
Right, and so from there, I would like to bring in what you have in your journey and in your career. You have yourself taken two major gaps, so to speak, from the corporate world, right? You took off and became a teacher for a school somewhere near the Dharamshala, if I'm not wrong.
Yes, you're right.
And then you also took off almost 5 years when you were at the peak of your corporate career, still working for First Advantage.
Right.
And you set up a farm in Maharashtra, right?
Yes,
so tell us about that whole experience and how you did it and how did it help you, or what were the advantages and disadvantages of doing that?
Oh, okay. So regarding the school, it's interesting. My daughter was studying in that school.
Oh, okay.
In the boarding school over there, and we went over to pick her up in December because usually the schools close down in the upper Himalayas during those winter months for a few months. So I was looking at all the kids and everything, and a lot of people from all over the world. It's an international school. So I went and spoke to the principal and said, why shouldn't people like us come over there and teach for a few months?
Okay.
And interestingly, she said, not possible.
Oh.
We'll require people who can come for a year because then the whole session is taken care of.
Right, makes sense.
Right? So we thought, why not? Let's take a break and work with the kids in the school, and let's find what we can do. So I joined the school as a teacher for chemistry for class 11th and 12th.
Okay.
Right, and it was a good fun experience working with the kids from all over the world.
But how did it impact your career, right? Because now you're again the MD for First Advantage. So what was the disadvantage of just taking off, or what really helped you by taking that break?
Yeah, okay. I was able to understand what our new generations are. When we talk of millennials, what are those? So we put a lot of our value systems, the old value systems on them, which is not true. They also have a very good value system. Only thing is, it's not matching to our value system. So if somebody says that these guys don't have value system, I'll be surprised the kind of value system they have, kind of ethics they have, and kind of discipline they have in life. We define discipline in a very different way, very old way. They have a discipline in a very newer way.
It's so interesting you say that, because I've written so many articles on and had attended gatherings where we've talked about how do you manage a multi-generational workforce,
right.
How do you work with the millennials and then the Gen Z, and you do all this research and you come up with all these different ways of they have to find their purpose, and that's all talk. But here you are where you actually did something which I would have never been able to even relate this to that multi-generational workforce when I first saw what you did. So it's so fascinating to for you to say that and to connect those dots there.
You're right. Because it actually helps. As we are, if you look at all our corporates, we are hiring more and more of the newer generation.
Absolutely,
people,
yes.
Right? And they are so smart.
So smart, yes.
And they're so hardworking. But their priorities are different. So if we understand their priorities well, we'll be able to gel well and make our country a better place.
Okay. But what was some of the struggles that did you have to really, when you were coming back, like most people think, right, after the gap, and you're now coming back. First of all, were there any challenges with that? And then the second part was why First Advantage then?
Okay.
After the way you may have...
loaded question, Okay. So when the year got ended, we went around looking at the country. Because what my daughter had till now realized was a country as Bangalore or Delhi or Mumbai, or bigger cities. So we thought, why not look at the country? So we went into a state of Maharashtra, supposed to be the breadbasket of the country. In terms of vegetable basket, fruit basket, everything. Maharashtra is a big agriculture state.
Okay.
Right. So we went through each and every taluka of Maharashtra, and we drove in our car for 3.5 months. And we stayed, slept, everything in the car, all kind of stuff. So
really?
Me, my wife, and my daughter.
Wow.
We were trying to understand what this country is all about, and I wanted to give a bit of a feel to my daughter. And we landed up in a place called Wardha. And we found, very interestingly and very sad, people committing suicides. Farmers committing suicide. I couldn't get it. How can a person who has a land with him can commit suicide?
Yeah, so what was the reason for that?
Yeah, we found that many things over there, whether the kind of crops they're putting, and the debt
But if
because
you
of
were
the
to
bad farming practices.
Okay, so was it like the lack of money to sustain
No,
themselves?
no. It eventually became a lack of money, but it was lack of knowledge.
Mm.
So government is kind enough to give loans and everything out, but people are not able to generate the results that they were supposed to generate or they thought they will generate.
Okay. Okay.
So those kind of things actually tied us down over there in that city.
Mm.
And we also thought, this is a city where Gandhiji came way back, and the whole Quit India movement and everything started from there.
I see.
Last 12 years of his life, he was in Wardha, in Sevagram. So why? It's just a very different city, has a different connotation, different political and historical value. What's happening? So we started working with people over there, and eventually we ended up thinking that we can create a model over there where we can work with the farmers and put those practices in, which will help them to be self-sustaining.
I see.
And you don't require any off-farm inputs, and you generate things in a different way.
And so that's
natural.
when you took your second break, and
Yes.
you have a whole farm there,
Yes,
right?
we have a farm, farm, and the whole concept of Vardha Organic. Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, this is actually and the farm still exists. And
Yeah.
people
Every
can-
weekend I go there.
Oh.
Saturday morning I go there. Sunday night I come back.
Wonderful. Very
Yeah.
great to visit that sometime.
Yeah. You're welcome.
And so then, in terms of coming back to that whole corporate, this is such a fascinating story in itself, which should sometime go into that. But
Yeah.
coming back into the whole corporate scene again, like say for somebody who's out there who really is has to work to sustain a living for themselves,
Right.
but are extremely passionate about something like you mentioned, and the younger lot is really passionate about making a difference, right?
Right. Yes.
What would be your suggestions on how to go about doing it, so that one thing that holds people back is that, oh, when I come back I would not get a job if I wanted to. Say even if I were to take a year or two off, what holds them back from doing that is that when they come back there may not be room for them.
Right.
What would be your advice, so to speak, to those people?
Okay. So I'll start with maybe 2-3 cliches. So first thing is to all the listeners, don't think about being employed. Think about being employable. Second thing, there was a famous saint in India named Kabir. He once upon a time said, if you can do it tomorrow, do it today. If you can do it today, do it now. And third thing, if you believe you can do it, or if you believe you can't do it, you are right in both the circumstances.
Absolutely. Thank you. That was very inspiring. I'm tempted to take this belief part further because it's very important to me, because I also believe that you can achieve whatever you want
Yes.
to believe,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
What comes in the way of beliefs is usually fears and your society around you,
Right.
your own belief system, which comes in your own way.
Right.
Anything on that? How can you overcome those fears and really believe more in yourself? That's a question I ask myself all the time for all the clients.
Okay.
So I would like to hear your take on it.
Okay. So it has two connotations to it. First is your self-belief. Second is your own spirituality about it. So if you believe in yourself, if you believe that yes, all the things around the world are here to help you out and to make you a success, the reason for which you have been sent on this earth. So, and you believe in yourself. And as I said about being employable, if you do all the right things, you will do whatever you want to do as per your passion. And people know that you have stepped out. Like it happened with me when I stepped out, and then somebody, a headhunter, called me back and said, we have a place for you. We believe that's the right fit for you. We also believe that will fit into your scheme of things. That's how First Advantage happened.
Wow.
So when I looked at First Advantage, that journey started because I did a lot of things before that, which made somebody believe that yes, I can make the difference over there.
So would it be fair to say that once you start believing in yourself, other people around you will automatically start believing in that too?
Yes, demonstrate that yes, you believe in yourself and you do all the right things.
And then that is enough belief to become
Yeah.
that employable person.
Yes, and do the right things. Yeah.
So all the people out there, if you have been thinking of really stepping out there and doing something, but you have all these fears holding you back, this is for you.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So then, do you feel that coming to First Advantage now, after this journey, you are able to continue that journey that you started upon with respect to making the world a better place, the sustainability with the farmers, and on the outside, I want to know how does that whole puzzle fit
in? Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So why First Advantage after
Advantage,
this?
yes.
Yeah.
If you look at First Advantage, it's one company which is actually helping to make the world safe.
Okay.
We are one of the companies which help weed out the unrequired component society resources away from the mainstream.
Okay.
So we are the people who help companies be safe. Somebody who rings a bell and delivers a packet from a courier company, we screen those people.
Okay.
So we make it safer for you. Cab drivers, looking at nurses, looking at doctors, looking at the people who are there with you, looking at the banks, looking at the people who are dealing with all the people who could be impacted by whole thing. We make the world safer. So this is not only about a commercial venture, it's also about making this whole world very, very safe to live in.
Okay. Thank you for that. So, if I were to ask you, what would you say is your leadership style as you go about doing this at First Advantage?
Oh, wonderful.
And tied into your vision. So, two questions. Feel free if you want to connect them, or your style and your vision.
Okay. Importantly, always believe in yourself, as I said to you earlier. And I have one more, maybe a cliche, and which goes in my head every time. And it goes in Hindi. It says, "Zinda hai to zindagi ki jeet pe yakin kar. Agar kahin hai swarg to utar la zameen par."
Yeah.
So
So, if you were to translate that into English,
it will go as, if you're alive, then believe in the life. And if there's a heaven anywhere, just get it to the earth.
Wow.
There are a lot of people out there who are looking for heaven. Just make it happen for them.
Okay. So that is like a mantra that
Yes.
you
I
take your
strongly
leadership
believe it.
forward.
Yes. Yeah.
In. Okay.
And everything's possible.
Everything's possible. Great. And your vision for First Advantage, for the world, for yourself, what is that one vision? What is your vision?
Make this place a better place for the next generation.
Okay.
We have to leave this world to be a better place for the generations to come. So cleaner, sustainable, a good place to be in.
Okay. So, Vivek, I noticed very early on in your career, you were a consultant, right?
Yes.
And you made that shift from being a consultant to actually coming into like a managerial role.
Right.
And I'm sure there are a lot of people out there who have contemplated that. So, can you tell us a little bit about that? Something around that?
Right. Now it's interesting. Yes, for good 6 to 7 years, I was a management consultant with the big five firms at that time, big five in the country. And abroad, and moved around here and there, and so it was good fun. Good fun being as a consultant, and you learn a lot of things. The learning is so fast and so agile, and so intense.
Absolutely.
That you sharpen your skills very very quickly. Being in the industry actually helps you execute that thing, because when you are looking at a consultant, you help executing.
I see. Okay.
You don't execute it fully, and with a full thing that you believe that you can make a difference.
Right.
So I got a chance to be in the. I was looking for some other opportunities to be back into the industry, and I got a chance with Convergys. Convergys was planning to set up their offices in India. So I joined the company, and yes, it was a great move. I joined into the marketing and sales and solutions group, because that was the right fit for me to get in, because you're creating things, thinking and all that kind of stuff. And over a period of about 2.5 years, looking at the opportunities available, I prefer to move into operations, which is hardcore execution. That's what I wanted to do.
Right.
And turn it around.
So would you say the other way around as well would be very, very helpful, where if you were to go from the management execution role into the consultancy?
Oh yes,
that would work well as well.
It will, because you know a lot about the industry. You know a lot about how people deal, and you know a lot about how to interact with people, and the softer things and the harder things together.
Okay.
And that you will become a very effective consultant. Yes.
Great.
Of course, yeah.
It was really, really, I'm sure, very insightful. It was a really great conversation, and thank you for your time.
Thank you very much, Bhavna. Real pleasure talking to you. Thank you.
Thank you.